consciousness has always been available for the human being, but do you think it's going to be available to most of the humankind at some point? In other words, are the cosmos helping us? Are the stars helping us? In India, they talk about the Kali Yuga. No? Is there going to be really a shift in consciousness, or is this going to be available only for a few?
Whoever is willing. Whoever is willing, for them it'll happen. Stars can go wherever the hell they want. Human beings will go through their own rubbish. I don't know how you got infected by this Indian calendar system. It has some relevance, I'm not saying it's totally out of relevance, it has some relevance. But people who say something was a better time, or it's called a eon of time, if you look at the history at that time, even then, there were wonderful people and nasty people, even then. They're talking about another time when stories like Mahabharata, Ramayana happened. You look at the story, it's full of drama, evil people planning and conspiracy and nonsense and jealousy and hatred and wars, even then. But of course, some people were above those things. Even today, it's the same reality. But you said consciousness available, you're talking about consciousness as a commodity outside of yourself. See, the only reason that you know that you exist right now is because you're conscious, isn't it so? Hello? Suppose you were unconscious, do you know that you exist? Let's say you fell asleep, do you know that you exist in your sleep? You do not know. So only because you're conscious, you're alive. So consciousness is not a commodity up in the sky. This is you, this is consciousness. Question is only how conscious. If you have a torchlight, if you put it here, you see only this much. If you put it there, you see only that much. But suppose you turn this torchlight into a flare, now you see everything at once. This is consciousness. You have the spark in you, but it is just interested in survival, it is just pecking at one thing. If you let it flare up, it will show you everything. Things that you thought did not exist, suddenly exist. Suppose it's like night and it's totally dark, you don't even know if the ocean exists because you can't see it. Sunlight came, suddenly there is ocean, there is a whole world around you, isn't it? Consciousness is just like this. It is always there. The question is only in what volume. For this, we must understand this. When we sit here, this is my body, that is your body. Distinctly separate, isn't it? We will only realize this is one when both of us are buried. If suppose both of us are buried in Florida, we will realize, oh, dead people, realizing when the maggots work on us, we know, oh, both of us are same earth. But right now, that is your body, this is my body, 100% clear, isn't it? This is my mind and that's your mind, 100% clear. But I want you to know there is no such thing as my life and your life. This is a living cosmos. You captured some, I captured some. Now, how significant a life you will become? Please, you must understand the word significant. Significance does not mean you became the richest man in the world. Significance does not mean you can run faster than somebody. Significance does not mean you climbed a mountain. Significant as a life, as a being, in your experience, will happen when the amount of life that you capture is constantly on. It's like this. Did you blow soap bubbles when you were young, as a child? You got this big soap bubble, let's say both of us were blowing soap bubbles, you got this big bubble, I got that big bubble. Then we'll say, my bubble is big, your bubble is small. This game was going on, then it went poop. When it went poop, now this is not my air, that is not your air, they're just air, isn't it? So cosmos is like this is a living cosmos. Life is like this, life is there in everything. you capture a little bit. Now, if you develop a way of constantly capturing more life, if you sit here, the life that you are becomes far more significant than the body that you are or the body that you have gathered. You gathered this body, isn't it so? Hello? You gathered this body or you were born like this? In Venezuela. Gathered, isn't it? And you gathered this mind. The content of your body is food, the content of your mind is the impressions that you have taken in. This body, the psychological process and the physiological process will take a back seat because the life process has become bigger. This is what the entire system of yoga means. That's why it scares me when I see what they're doing out there. Yoga means this, you obliterate the boundaries of your individuality so that you take in more and more life in. So if the life that you captured is far more significant than the body that you have gathered and the mind that you have gathered, if you sit here, naturally your body and mind will work as your instruments. Right now, your body and mind are bigger than the life that you are. But let me ask you a simple question. Right now, what is the most important thing in your life? Is it the thoughts that you're having? Is it the emotions that you're having? Or is it the muscle that you have got? Or you're alive? Which is the most important thing? You're alive. So you being alive is the most significant thing. How much muscle you got, how much brain you got, how much thoughts you got, how much emotion you got, this is not important. You're alive right now. The question is how alive? How alive is how conscious. So consciousness is not outside of you, you are consciousness. The question is only how conscious.